Welcome back, Inebri-art. It is Andy as always, and today I'm joined by director, actor. I mean, you kind of do it all. It seems like Blake Ritter, who's got the Manor of Darkness, which is out December 9th on. Is there a specific streaming service this
Yeah,
would be?
hi. Thanks for having me, Andy,
Yeah,
on
sure.
the podcast. So yeah, it's going to be on the usual platforms like Amazon, Apple TV.
Hmm.
I think most people familiar with Amazon.
Yeah.
So let's focus on that platform. So they yeah, on December the 9th.
And so I was watching the trailer, and it felt kind of, and maybe that I'm just not watching the right movies, but it just felt like a little bit of a throwback to like haunted house vibes, and I feel like we don't see a lot of those movies. Am I right in thinking that, or is it I'm just not watching the right stuff?
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah, my aim was to have a mix of haunted house style movie with that twist of time loop because I haven't seen any movies out there with that mix. There's a lot of haunted house movies. There's probably too much of them. So
Yeah.
I didn't want to do another one of them. So I thought, what can I make it unique? Put a unique twist on the story, which is a time loop. And then again, there are time loops movies, but not so focused on serious horror elements. I mean, there's
Hmm.
Happy Death Day. That's probably the one that's closest to it. And there's a recent one, Till Dusk, I think.
Oh, I haven't seen
That
that one. I saw Happy Death Day, and
yeah,
it was funny. I was watching. I'm like, oh, this is like Groundhog Day, but a horror movie. And they, in the very end, add that kind of like, oh, you mean like Groundhog Day? So
yeah, but that's more
yeah.
comedy styled. So mine's more serious horror in this one. So a little bit different. I'm trying to make it as a unique experience for the audience as possible.
It's got to be so tough to come up with something unique in a genre that, I mean, is so, you know, there's so many movies in horror, beyond the big ones. Like I'm a big fan of kind of like older, low budget ones. So it's, there's been so many movies to come out in that specific genre that it's got to be really tough to like find a unique twist.
Yeah, that it's always tough to find a unique twist. And sometimes I think filmmakers spend too much time trying to find a unique one. And sometimes it's okay to redo that's an existing idea, but in your own way, because nobody do it the way you do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's important for filmmakers to realize. And I thought in that trap, oh, I wish I just had that unique idea nobody's ever done. But it's really difficult, and someone somewhere probably has already done that idea that you thought about.
Yeah, and I mean, like even in things that seem very unique, like I remember, growing up, Star Wars just seemed to be so groundbreaking, but then like now eons later that people have like really looked into it, they're like, oh, this kind of aspect is from like this old serial that like was out around the time, so
Yeah,
I mean, all artists steal in some aspects, and I think
yeah,
that's a very common thing, and it's really that finding your voice and your take on it that's the real challenge.
yeah. Completely agree. Yeah, it's definitely how you pull off the story, how you write it, how you visualize it, how you frame, how you put the actors in, how they perform, everything that turns into your unique kind of piece of story.
Yeah, and you're an actor in this, right?
A little bit.
Yeah.
So I only did the very end. Why there was a cameo.
Oh, okay.
Um,
All right. I
yeah.
looked on
So
the.
like, there might be confusion. I think the Asian dude in the movie is called Ray Shan.
Okay.
He's the one of the main actors.
Well, I was just checking out on IMDb, and it had you listed as an actor, so I wasn't
Oh yeah, I mean
sure.
it,
Yeah, yeah.
but
Okay.
as a very small cameo.
Oh, okay. All right. So is that like a Hitchcock homage kind of thing? He would do that.
Well, I started off being an actor before I
Yeah.
accidentally fell into a filmmaker. So I still really am attached to acting, and I want to do as much as acting as I can without jeopardizing the film quality. So I don't put myself too much in it if I can. Although there is one film coming up that I have been in the lead as well as a director, and that was really difficult. But this one, I stayed off in front of a camera, more behind.
How did you fall into directing? I feel like it's like some actors will make that transition, but you said you kind of fell into it. Like how did you
Yeah,
get
I
onto
didn't
the
purposely
how did
wanted to become
yeah
a filmmaker. There was no intention. I always wanted to do acting. I love movies. I always thought, oh, if I could just be in one of those movies, just be fantastic. And then when I moved to London, I started thinking maybe I should just take acting classes and start performing. And then I try that. Got some extra roles like background artist,
mm-hmm.
which is not amazing, and it didn't come out to be as I expected. I didn't get a red carpet, didn't get all the celebrity
Yeah,
lifestyle. So I thought, oh, so okay, nobody's hiring me. Why is that? It's because I'm new, right? I'm not good enough. So maybe I can just keep practicing and get confident in front of a camera. So I don't have a camera at the time. I thought, okay, why don't I buy a camera, start shooting myself for YouTube videos just to practice, just to have fun by
yeah.
myself. I did a lot of that, did some travel videos. So, and then I hired a friend of mine I met. I said, why don't we just make a movie together so that you get to practice your acting, I get to practice my acting, and we can put this movie out there
Mm-hmm.
as, and we both have lead roles, and that'd be amazing. And we wrote a quick story. We shot it over 2 nights and put it on YouTube. It wasn't great, but it was a really good experience. I really enjoyed it. I wanted to do it again because I think the more I do it, the acting will get better and better. And I kept doing it. Obviously, we didn't have the budget to hire people to shoot, so I learned how to shoot myself, and that just carried on. And now eventually, I was an expert of using a camera, and I thought, I could just keep doing this and
Yeah.
make movies and put myself in it. Eventually, I put more experienced actors in it, and then start making movies without myself, and just that slow transition.
I
Yeah.
love that DIY aspect of it. And it's a lot of like what we do here is, I mean, when we started this podcast, we had bought like a $40 mic and we were having all sorts of sound quality issues. So we upgraded the mic and then we realized it wasn't the mic, we weren't using it properly. And,
Yeah.
I love that kind of exploring and figuring out kind of as you go. It to me, it's I don't know. There's just something about like that struggle, and when you finally figure out like the issue that you're having, that just feels so like it's like such a rush where you're like, I figured it out on
Yeah.
myself. So
It's very rewarding at the end. Yes.
yeah. What is your favorite part? Like, do you still prefer? Like you said, you want to get back into it. Well, not back into it. You're acting, but like, do you want to do more of that or put directing
Well,
aside?
I tested myself, like I said to you, my recent feature I just finished. It's in edit now. I wanted to. I've never tried to play a lead in a feature movie. I have in short films.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably easier than feature in any respect. So I thought, why don't I just try it for once? If I didn't like it, or if it was turned out to be bad, then I know acting and directing at the same time is definitely not for me. So I wrote a lead part for myself and tried film. It was very difficult, and I want to see how this pans out in the end, and then I'll decide if this route is a successful one to continue on. I mean, I still love to put myself in cameos, but I want to
Yeah.
see having myself the lead role if it's something that I can continue doing.
Is that
So
one
that
also going to be? Is that also going to be a horror movie?
it's not horror. This one's more of a thriller.
Yeah.
It's called Spill. This one's a self-funded movie I shot in LA with a lot of different people. So so yeah, it's more kind of on the road, a little bit like True Romance kind of style thriller, chasing, suspense. So yeah,
And self-funded.
self-funded that one. Yeah, the
That's
first one.
I mean, that's got to be the hardest part of. I mean, you hear about so many movies kind of getting like hung up in production over like money and you know the right star. When you're doing it yourself, it's got to be a little bit it's got to be a bigger struggle, but I feel like that just knowing that like I don't have to answer this person, I don't have to answer that
Yeah.
person, like it has to be a decent, like good trade off.
Yeah, it's amazing to have that freedom and flexibility and making your own decisions without, yeah, without having to answer to anyone and create have your I mean, I still love to collaborate with everybody when I'm on set, whether it's self-funded or not. It's always good to hear everybody's feedback. Sometimes you're in that mindset and you could be thinking the wrong way, and somebody else watching from a third person perspective might spot something that you don't. So, there are many times one of my crew members suggest something that I hadn't thought about, and it was a better idea than I had.
Mm-hmm.
So that can happen a lot. But still, yeah, at the end, I still call the shots. I still have the final say, and but yeah, it's good to have that freedom. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's really great to be open to those kind of ideas. I mean, there's a famous story where Bryan Cranston was shooting Jerry Seinfeld, an episode of Seinfeld, and he was playing the dentist, and like a guy on a light, like was fixing the lighting rig and like yells down to him from the ladder and be like, hey, before you give Jerry the gas, you should take a hit off of the gas. And Brian's like, that's a great idea. And like everyone's like, at the end of the take, they're trying to give Brian credit. And Brian's like, no, no, like that lighting guy over there in the corner.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, that's the perfect example. That happens a lot on my set. Like, you should do that. I say, oh yeah. Sometimes I'm not sure, but I still shoot their versions. Like, okay, let's do two versions because I can't decide which one's best. And then I can always decide in the edit room.
Yeah. Is there like one instant that like really jumps to mind where you're like, oh, the crafty guy or makeup, someone had like a really weird take on something that ended up in the film?
For Man of Darkness, I'm trying to think. It was over a span of 4 years because the initial production started in 2021, 2022, and then we had to do some pickups and reshoots. So I'm trying to think. There's so many years span across the production. Nothing specific, but
Yeah.
maybe, yeah, maybe there was one point where we'll try to we'll try to show the dark spirit in the background, which comes and goes throughout the movie. I think there was one part where it didn't look scary enough, and somebody suggested maybe making him all black, just going past the screen rather than being too detailed. So
Hmm.
that suggestion got into the movie. But yeah, I have to sit down to really think
Yeah.
any other
I,
specific examples.
I think that kind of vibe to me of that nondescript, or like I always say in zombie movies, don't tell me why they're zombies. Like I'm okay with there being zombies. You don't have to go out of your way to explain why there are zombies. Because I feel like anytime you're trying to, the monster's always scary when they're in shadow, and that kind of, your personal brain fills in the scary part. So if it's kind of vague and nondescript and you see it briefly, I think our our brains know how to scare us the best.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, less show, don't tell, less is more.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, why why do people love horror so much? Like I'm a big horror fan, but I tend to like, I think I more gravitate towards the campy stuff, like old black and white films, and
Mhm.
um but why do people like, why do you want to scare people? Why do people want to be scared?
I think I don't think I want to scare people, and I don't believe I'm very good at scaring people to the level some of the best horror movies you
Yeah.
would say that you've seen this year. But what I'm good at is creating the suspense, and people have often said that's one of my strongest point. So I latch onto that, and sometimes without a jump scare, which there isn't too many in this movie, the suspense create a lot of fear as well without
Hmm.
being. scared, and I love creating suspense because I love keeping the audience on the edge. I love throw a curveball at them, thinking it's gonna go this way, but it's that way. I just love playing around with the audience emotions on that level, and it just gives me buzz. I don't think there's a reason why I do it. It's just a strong kind of skill that I have creating
Yeah.
suspense because that's I think it's because mainly that's what I love. When I'm watching a thriller, a horror, it's not the final scare that gets me. It's the build up.
Yeah.
It's oh, I don't know what's gonna come around the corner. Um, how did they get out of that situation? There's no way they can get out of that situation. And they finally did.
Yeah.
Those moments have really hit me really well, and that's why I love to create as well.
Yeah. It's funny. It's like I love those movies that take twists and turns that you don't see coming, but it's almost kind of like, or it can be a catch 22. Like M. Night Shyamalan is known for like having that twist at the end of the movie. So like
Yeah.
when you go in knowing it's his movie, you're like, all right, you're already like looking for like what's the twist, like what's going on. And if he made a rom com with no twist, I think that'd be great.
Well, he didn't have a twist for Knock at the Cabin.
For which one?
Knock at the Cabin.
I don't even think I've seen that one. Knock at the Cabin. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I'll have to put that on my
I
list.
think isn't that his latest movie? I think it is.
I
No,
honestly
oh no,
don't
maybe
know.
not. Trap was the latest movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen, I can honestly say I haven't seen one of his in a while, but like, you kind of get that. Um, what was it? Others was kind of ruined
Others,
for
oh
me
yeah, that's a
because
good
I
one.
I thought it was an M. Night Shyamalan movie and it wasn't. But like my brain the whole time was like looking for the twist and looking for the twist, and kind of automatically takes the twist out when you're looking for it. But
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It's best to go in without knowing if there's a twist. Um, like Weapons, such a good horror movie.
yeah.
Have you seen that yet?
No weapons. I gotta catch up.
Wow.
Like I said, I tend to watch like older stuff. The last one I watched was Boris Karloff's last movie. Who else was in it? Oh God, why am I blanking on his name? He was in Star Wars, not Christopher Lee. I can't think of his name, but it was a haunted house kind of
Yeah,
Lovecraftian thing, but it was like very much of its generation, like '60s visuals, and so it was fun.
yeah.
Um, but more weird than scary.
You
Um,
mean you've seen Psycho, right? That's an old one.
oh
So,
yeah, 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 for
well,
sure.
that's
Yeah,
that's a classic horror
yeah,
movie.
and it's one that's like that is so ingrained in our culture that you kind of forget that was a twist ending.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
so, but when you have that kind of twist, like you kind of want to, pepper in hints, but like you don't want to give it away. Is that like kind of a tricky kind of thing where you don't want to maybe like hint at the twist, but not, make it too obvious?
Yeah, I like to hint twists if it's possible, but without shoving it into people's face. There's a few Easter eggs in Man of Darkness I've put in.
Yeah.
I don't think people noticed. When I was shot this movie, they said no one is ever gonna discover that. I was like, you never know.
But I mean, that's
Like,
kind of the fun of those and with streaming now we can watch the movie over and over and over and over again in half speed. And, I love some of those YouTube videos that they deep dive in and
yeah.
pick out all the cool Easter eggs.
Like at the beginning of Man of Darkness, there's a hamster on the wheel. Do you
Yeah.
remember that? That's a metaphor for the time loop.
Oh, see, that stuff's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, no one
It,
would ever figure that out. Therefore, oh,
yeah.
just
And it's like sometimes you get people that later on will be like, "Oh, I think this is a metaphor for this, and I think this is a metaphor for that." And I think Kevin Smith is like, sometimes he's like, "People make me into a way better filmmaker than I am."
yeah, yeah. There's accidental ones as well. Yeah,
Yeah,
people notice.
nice. So you said it took like 4 years. Like, why? Like you said, you go back and do some shoots, but like, why did it take so long? Was that planned or was that post
No,
COVID
we
or?
were ready to release after 12 months from the first day of. shooting, and we did it on a folks group, and they were not happy with some of the scenes, so we had to go away, rewrite some of the scenes. I don't know if I still have the original cut, but there was like I think 30% of the original production has been cut away, replaced with some of the new shots and changing new story and adding even some side characters that we didn't have before. So yeah, that took some time, and then we had to reshoot again because it if we had this and that would make sense. If we didn't have that,
Yeah.
we just kept going back and forth a little bit, and sometimes people were busy. I was busy, so I had to when I edit something, it took a while. Then we're looking for distribution, that took a while. And then VFX, that took a long time as well, getting the right VFX for the blood, for the demon side, the
Hmm.
color grading, going back and forth. It took a lot longer than usual. So all that added up, and so yeah.
Yeah. It is like funny. Like I didn't even think about this until just now. Is like continuity can be always challenging with a movie, just to make sure that the shots on the same days, like they're wearing the same
Yeah.
thing, and yada yada. Yada. Was it more challenging continuity wise doing a time loop movie? Because I feel like that could be incredibly difficult if you're like, okay, well, it's supposed to be the same thing happening at the same time, so that mug needs to be 4 inches this way, and like, was that really tough?
Yeah, we were trying to schedule the best way to shoot this without messing up. We were thinking originally, why don't we just shoot every loop at the same time? But then we couldn't because everybody would be standing slightly different positions and it might not match for the next scene
Yeah,
because the time loop doesn't just happen in one scene, it happens in different locations. So if we shoot all the loops in one location and then we go to the next location, we might forget how we got, if that makes sense. Yeah.
yeah,
So so we end up shooting first time loop all the way to the end, and then we have to do it again. And yeah, some parts where we shot it together, and then there's another Easter egg where do you remember the chess piece in the middle of the room?
yes, yeah, yeah.
So there's a block with a number on there. Each time there's a new loop,
Yeah.
this number changes from one
Oh,
to two to three to four
tells you how
to
many
five.
loops. Ah.
Yeah, and that also helped production because we look at the number. Okay, so this is loop five.
Yeah,
So we know, so everybody's not confused which loop it is, and that also was an Easter egg as well in there. So
yeah, that's got to be challenging too. Being like, wait, what scene are we doing?
yeah,
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, it's cool. The Easter eggs are cool. In movies in general, it's just sometimes I feel like they, especially with like kind of these big budget, Marvel movies always jump to mind, or DC movies, and it's just like sometimes they spend so much effort trying to like do stuff like that where I'm like, you could work on the movie a little more. I feel like
yeah.
there's parts of the stories that are missing, or I think it's fun. I think it adds to the rewatchability, which is, again, I think is a newer thing with, I grew up with VHS video, and even that you didn't really watch them as much as I think we do now, like that kind of watch again and watch again. So,
I watched Matrix a lot on VHS.
oh God, I had that. I was lucky enough to have that on DVD. I love that movie.
Okay.
I would
Yeah,
watch
it
that.
was
Yeah,
I played so much, you can tell it's been watched so many times.
yeah, and I feel like that's kind of like the VHS. After a while, you're just like, it looks like crap. Um, that's another, like, I mentioned Psycho, that like I think we forget, like, going back and like looking at some of these, how groundbreaking they were. And I was talking with someone the other day about Twilight Zone, like the original Twilight Zone.
Mm.
And I'm like, oh, I had it on The Office. It's kind of like background, and I had to shut it off because it's so damn good that I stopped working and I was like watching. which
Yeah.
is challenging. But yeah, I mean, it holds up. It's so good. Yeah. Do you have like a favorite like old retro throwback kind of horror movie that's your go to jam?
Horror movie.
Or it's
I like
suspense.
I like I like Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh
The
yeah, sure.
the first one that really scared me. Like I was going to bed thinking, is it going to happen to me if I fall asleep? Yeah, that was pretty scary. You just never
he
know when he's going to turn up.
and he was such a like at that time he was such a great character because the
Mhm.
other like horrific monsters like that were just Jason and Michael Myers, but like Freddy had character and like personality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
If
Yeah.
you do, have you ever like is there a bucket list like a franchise like that you'd want to work for, like direct a
Uh, I don't know. I think something like Saw, that would be a
okay
good
yeah
franchise to get into. But there's so much there's too much right now. But if I went back in time and they asked me to get involved for the first few
yeah
sequels, then yeah, I would be interested. That was really good groundbreaking horror.
yeah yeah
Uh,
my
but then it got too much after the third one. So
yeah, I mean they're all like that after this,
apart from Final Destination, that's that's still going strong.
yeah. It's once they like Jason in space where you're like, all right, we're
Yeah,
we're gone too far. But
yeah.
Saw, my kids actually went and saw someone is putting on Saw the musical,
Oh, really?
and it's like a parody and it's like a gay romance. And I it's funny, like they told me they were going. I think they went like a week or so ago. I forgot all about it until just a second. I forgot to check out, see if they enjoyed
Oh,
it, and like, yeah, it is. It, I'm like, that's just such a weird,
that's weird.
yeah, like weird way of going. So I'm curious to see. I'll have to ask. But yeah, I'm sure it's got to be like online somewhere. But so the movie comes out on streaming,
Hmm.
and it's been that's only in the US. It's been out
Yeah.
before. Yeah. Have you gotten to like meet fans of the movie and like gotten their feedback and stuff like that?
We got some feedback from a few reviewers early part early part this year. They were really yeah they're really into the horror element with the time loop, and they liked how it got more intense. It's interesting to see how the characters, well, the main character act differently
Yeah.
each time, and yeah, got some good feedback on that.
Nice. Do you so I don't know how it is in the UK, but in the US we have similar to like Comic Cons, we have horror conventions.
Okay.
Do you have them over there? Like, has anyone invited you to one or like interested in going and talking movies and stuff with the fans? To me, that's like a super fun thing to do.
Like Comic-Con kind of style.
Yeah, but essentially it's Comic Con style, and they'll
We
have
we had yeah, there was a Comic-Con in London as
yeah.
well. Yeah, I've
But
been there.
do they just have like a horror like we over
Uh,
here we have like Chiller Theater, I think is the biggest one on the East Coast. It's in like Jersey, like right on the Jersey New York border, and they'll have like an entire section with all like horror movie actors and special effects artists
oh
and
right. No, I
yeah.
don't think I don't think they have that. I've moved to the US now, by the way, so
Oh, have you? I'm sorry. I thought you were in my
that's
bad.
okay. But I don't remember they have that kind of thing. Even Halloween in the UK is not as big as the US. So
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah, they
interesting.
don't they don't celebrate it as much as you guys.
Huh. Okay. Well, that's boring. Yeah, it's and I don't know where it's a huge thing where I'm from, and maybe that's just because we're very I'm like just the other side of Boston to Salem.
Hmm.
So it's just kind of it's and I'm not sure if or have you ever heard of Spooky World?
No.
Spooky World was like the first. large scale horror theme park, and it was kind of just west of Boston. So it's always been like a really big thing around here, and I don't know why that is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I wish to I can go to. Well, there's also theme parks with horror rides, but that
Hmm.
those are just very minimal.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be good to have more horror stuff in the UK.
Yeah. And I don't know. That's weird. I always think of like maybe because I am a fan of old horror, so like the Hammer horror movies, and to me, it's just like that seemed like it was
Yeah,
weird. I wonder why it's kind of grabbed hold here more than there. That's strange. So,
everything's bigger in the US.
yeah. Maybe I should just get out of the country more and then, so um so you are also working on the newer movie you said was, I'm sorry, it was one word and I can't remember what it was.
Bill.
One.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I've shot two features since Man of Darkness. Um, one called Spill and the one called Blue Harvest. One's a sci-fi, one's a thriller.
It's called
So
Blue Harvest. Is that a Star Wars reference?
yeah, we got the title, didn't realize until
Oh,
afterwards.
okay.
But
Yeah.
it's called Blue Harvest because the aliens emits a blue light and they harvest energy. So,
Oh, okay.
so it's got
Okay.
nothing to do with
That's
Star Wars.
that's oh man, you're gonna hear that a lot.
I have, yeah,
Yeah.
the one of the posts went viral on Instagram, and there's been thousands of comments, people saying, "Is this
Yeah.
guy being serious?"
That's funny. That's always one of those. And there's just I was talking with the last recording that I did. I'm like, there's only so many words. You're bound to get ones that sound good, and you're like, oh, someone else used
Yeah,
that too.
exactly.
Yeah, that's funny.
Unless you invent a made-up word.
Yeah, yeah, and then people give you crap about that anyways.
Yeah,
So, um, so December, sorry, December 9th.
not,
I thought it
yeah,
was 8th. Um, People can find Manor of Darkness on Amazon. Do you have in Apple TV, I think you said. Do you have
yeah.
like release dates for those other ones, or is there somewhere where people can go to
Uh,
find out like when those are coming out?
I think if I think it'll be on YouTube as well. All the usual places
Yeah,
you'd expect. But yeah, there'll be if there's more platforms, I'll be updating on the Man of Darkness Instagram page,
yeah.
which is called Man of Darkness.
Oh, the other movies the Blue Harvest and the other
Oh,
one. Do you have release dates, or where can people go to find out more about those
oh,
too?
not release dates. No, it's not finished
Yeah,
editing yet. I might do a self-distribution with the followers I have and see if there's anyone interested. But Spill, there's a Instagram page as well. But yeah, anything I update is mainly on my Instagram page. If people just search my name, Blake Ritter, they'll
yeah,
find.
nice. So you said it's going to be on YouTube. Is that
Oh, the
like?
paid YouTube, like
Oh, okay. I was going to say, doesn't that hurt?
yeah, like
Yeah.
in most movies you can watch on YouTube if you pay for it.
Oh,
Yeah,
right. That's right. Okay, that makes more sense now.
yeah.
Do you have people trying to like put your movie out for free? Like I've seen like people put up like multiple clips and clip out movies. Like, have you ever experienced any of that?
Oh yeah, any movie you put out, it's pirated almost the next day.
Yeah,
But that's you can't avoid that, unfortunately. But um, I think it'd be good to have someone clip my movie scenes. It must have meant that they found it interesting.
yeah,
So far, I think there's been one or two for my previous feature film. Um, so maybe there'll be more for this one. Who knows?
yeah. It's funny because it is a weird sort of flattering. I did have someone steal some artwork and try to like sell it on iPhone cases or something. And a friend of mine sent me a link. They're like, "Is this you?" And I'm like, "No, but that's kind of cool for a weird sort of, like that I'm at least making enough headway that someone notices."
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's cool. I just want to say, Blake, thank you for taking the time to talk to us. It's been a lot of fun, and
No, thank you.
best of luck when the movie hits. So, yeah, listeners, make sure December 9th that you go check out this holiday movie.
Holiday.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
bring it to Christmas and scare your grandmother. So,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
awesome.
Thank you so much, Andy, for having me on your podcast.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime. And when Blue Harvest is ready, we'd love to have you back on. We can talk. I'll just ask you nothing but Star Wars questions.
Okay. Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And thanks again, listeners. We'll catch you guys again next week.
All right. Thanks, Andy.
And thanks for checking out the show today, listeners. If you enjoyed the content today, you can go over to patreon.com/Inebri-art to support the show. You can join over there for just a few dollars a month and help us provide this fun content that you just checked out. You can also email us at inebriart.com with your questions, complaints, and concerns, or you can find us on all social medias at Inebri-art or at Inebri-art6 on Instagram. And also don't forget to check out our other shows, Bar Talk Podcast, Old Colony Cast, Inebri-art, and all the other shows on the Inebri-art Network, which you can find at inebriart.com. Thanks again for listening.